robotics engineer work from home? Working from home has become more common after the coronavirus outbreak. Remote work allowed industries to limit the effects of this disaster, and engineering is no exception. It was very clear from the start that the engineering industry was one of the most unprepared for remote work and prevented situations like COVID-19. However, they were forced into it and had zero choice. A lot of engineers may find it difficult to work from home for their engineering jobs because these engineering careers are dependent on technology. However, workplace collaboration has changed since the pandemic struck, and businesses have been forced to innovate more quickly. AI is speeding up the future of work. For example, engineers rely heavily on collaboration to share information. This makes it harder for them to work home since they can't always connect with their team off-site. This is less of an issue for robotic engineers. But they're still able to take advantage of the speed and cost savings AI offers. Challenges that robotic engineers face while working from home. Robotic engineers have faced a lot of obstacles and have had to work hard. Aside from adapting to a new working environment, there were also big changes in how people work together, which was facilitated by the following adaptations. Some challenges that UX designers have to deal with are accessibility or the lack of design tools information. Meeting deadlines is also a common issue, too. All of this is to say that regardless of what distractions are at hand, there are still new jobs opening up in the field. One of the best features about a robot design team is the psychological safety they provide. Individuals are willing to take interpersonal risks to create this feeling. Engineers might often establish this psychological safety through one-on-one discussions. However, the shift to work from a home model and a virtual work environment means changing established norms. Can engineers work from home successfully? Yes, engineers can work from home. However, without experience, this may not be the best option. There are different types of engineering and each one has different needs. So, there is some type of engineering that will perform better if done at the office instead of at home. For example, engineers like computer engineers, software engineers, mechanical engineers, etc. can work from home more efficiently. This is because they can complete on-site work remotely through telecommuting on the job. One way to make sure that you enjoy your remote job is to see if it aligns with what you would like to do and if there is a need for you in the field. Engineers in this case may find remote jobs more suitable, and even robotic engineers find these jobs enjoyable. If someone can work from home, this might be a great opportunity for them. It is not necessarily a stretch for them to start this kind of career and can also help improve their quality of life. Being a robotic engineer and working from home. If you have the proper attitude and work ethic, it is possible. You'll need to be continually testing and improving your robot from the comfort of your own home, but as long as you're willing to put in the effort, everyone can do it. Essential skills to work from home as a robotics engineer. The engineering industry is being reshaped by the pandemic. Now many engineers are working from home, and that's creating a new trend that will likely be around for years. It also might become a vital part of the industry in the future. Thanks to remote working becoming more prevalent among in-demand engineering jobs, engineers and engineering candidates need the necessary skill to do their job well. Some of the necessary skills that engineers need to succeed while working from home are communication. Good communication skills are crucial for any remote worker, and engineering is no different. Engineers will have to rely on tools like video conference calls, emails, phone calls or the likes to update their teams. This would help people who work from home, and it has a lot to offer, including letting them stay on top of their projects. It's important to note that robots who can communicate well and respond quickly are better suited for this kind of role. Time discipline. Like other salary-paying work, robotics engineers who work from home will be paid for the allotted hours that their bosses stipulate. If the role is the regular 9 to 5, then the engineer must be ready and present for work during those hours. There is a big possibility that working from home disrupts the average work-life balance. It may also lead to overworking, and engineers may also be distracted from working in their homes. However, it is essential that the engineer working from home can stick to the regular work hours that the job dictates. Times consistency. Consistency is another primary trait that engineers must have if they are to be successful working from home. Although they no longer have their bosses looking over their shoulders, they must be disciplined enough to keep to the quality of work expected of them in a physical work environment. Once the work quality starts to deteriorate because the engineer is working from home, employers may begin to doubt the ability of the employee to work effectively from home. Times flexibility. Flexibility has become a significant theme for many organizations since the pandemic. It is a skill that's also required of robotics engineers that are working from home. Since physical contact is absent and engineers have to work on their own, the organization may use a blended approach. This will offer a flexible agreement that will see the engineering work done from home only on certain days and on site or at the office on other days. This blended approach is one that engineers must be flexible enough to work with. Either way, engineer must be transparent with their employers on the work approach they prefer. How robotics engineers can solve problems and give feedback in a corporate setting without getting together. For robotics engineers to solve problems and give feedback to their team members, psychological safety is necessary. Without this, it would be impossible for the team to work through challenges. Besides, it is easier for team members to have these conversations when there is a sense of trust among them. Building a psychologically safe team means those members who are different from the rest of the group or do not speak up normally are sought out. These members are encouraged and made to feel comfortable being themselves and their teammates without fear of being punished or rejected when they speak up. The team leader must be able to carry everyone along. One way to do this is to share an embarrassing story. This has a way of improving creativity and togetherness in the team, compared to when you share an achievement or moment of pride. The team is also more prolific when the team leader shares a story like this. How robotics engineers can make reliable decisions and innovate products while working from home. Robotics engineers can work successfully in their team through virtual whiteboards and video calls to create conceptual designs. They could hold calls for the sake of refining their concepts. Working from home does not stop robotics engineers from continuing to innovate their products. Conclusion: 2 years ago, very few people would have thought it possible for robotics engineers to work from home, but here we are. Thankfully, it is possible to continue to operate even though they are not in the office environment.